Episode 1, Water. Dr. Roy and Engineer Bowden met at Skytown Preschool as parents in 2010. With young children and busy careers, we didn't interact outside of school functions, but were friendly. Fast forward 15 years. We attend the 60th birthday party for Martha, the director of the preschool, when our kids attended. Small talk complete, Roy asks if I'm interested in climbing a California 14er with him. Split Mountain in the Eastern Sierra, elevation 14,056 feet. A 1 or 2 night trip on the 4th of July weekend. Trailhead elevation is 7,000 feet, and the distance to the summit is about 6 miles, with no trail for the second half. Excuse me, did I hear you correctly? 7,000 feet of elevation gain in 6 miles? That's crazy. Are you crazy, Roy? I'm in. For reference, the highest peak in the lower 48 is Mount Whitney, which gains about 5,500 feet in 11 miles. Average grades: Mount Whitney, 9.5%. Split Mountain, 22.1%. Over the next few weeks, Roy emails more details and gear lists, including offers to share his tent, stove, bear can, and water filter. I decline all offers. Roy is clearly in great shape and smart, but his gear could still suck. So we each start the trek fully self-sufficient. Weighing packs at the trailhead, his is 27.7 pounds and mine is 24.8. This includes our bear cans, 3 liters of water each, our food, and we each have a 2-man shelter. Plus, Roy has nice gear: a gossamer gear pack and hiking poles, carbon fiber bear can, down quilt instead of a sleeping bag. I mentioned 3 liters of water each. I would have started with less. But this is his trip, and he doesn't know my ability, which is totally fair. So I happily start with 3 liters. At the first water source, about 2 hours into the hike, I haven't finished 1 liter. And I might have mentioned this to Roy. The following day, we start early, around 5 a.m., again with 3 liters each, per Roy's recommendation. After climbing to the peak and descending all the way to the car, I still have 1 liter left. So, Roy, I look forward to trips with you in the future, but next time I'm bringing less water. Between Red Lake and the summit, there is no trail and the going is Class 2, meaning difficult cross-country, often in talus, with occasional use of hands required for balance. Here we see Roy starting the short Class 3 section of the climb, meaning hands and feet are used not just for balance, but to hang on. From the parking lot to the lake, the trail was mostly Class 1, walking. Although talus hopping does get tedious, the freedom to choose your own route is liberating, and in my opinion, quite enjoyable. As you can see, Roy and I often took different lines, providing great perspective for my videos. Why did Roy and I decide to go up opposite sides of this snowfield? Can you see Roy? He's at the very bottom, in the center. Reaching the summit is great, full stop. But in the High Sierra, you often reach another milestone, although I don't know if it has a name. It occurs when everything you see, except for the summit, is either at your elevation or lower. Just another one of the many things to appreciate when walking in the mountains. Now it's time for the obligatory 360-degree summit shot. We start looking east, then rotate to the south, west, and north, and find that Roy is no longer sitting. Here are 3 more clips for you to spot Roy amongst the scree. Maybe next time I'll ask him to wear a more brightly colored shirt. Episode 2 Tastes Funny. We camp a few hundred feet above Red Lake, perhaps at elevation 11,000 feet. With 3,000 feet to climb tomorrow, and potentially 7,000 feet to descend, we decide on an early start and set alarms for 4:30 a.m. Cowboy camping with outstanding views, I get over 8 hours of horizontal time. I'm comfortable and warm, but can't say I sleep particularly well. But I don't need to get out of my warm bag to pee, a rarity for me. The alarm sounds and I turn on the red light of my headlamp, as does Roy. Proper. Not wanting to keep him waiting, I add my hot chocolate powder to my homemade oatmeal mix. Recipe in the description. 1 cup of water is boiled, then the oatmeal chocolate mix is poured in. When the mixture comes back to a boil, I shut the stove off, put the lid on, and wait a few minutes. Cool and calm. It's a glorious morning, but time to eat then go. First impression, my oatmeal tastes funny. Not bad, but unexpected. It's a new mix to me. Trader Joe's organic rolled oats with ancient grains and seeds. I assume it's the amaranth, quinoa, chia, and flax. Down the hatch it goes, and then we are off. Several days later at home, we are entertaining, and a guest asks about the 2 bags on the kitchen counter. Leftovers from my trip, since we didn't stay a second night on the mountain. 1 bag is my rice and bean mix, and the other is oatmeal. The guest asks which is which, as the contents appear to be the same. Upon further examination, I discover that they are indeed both the same, and oatmeal. At least now I know why I was farting so much.